Good morning. I don't think anyone can accuse Jesus of being subtle in this gospel today. We see him being very bold and very blunt and very clear with his words about those who are blessed and those who are to worry, those who are to woe to you. And what I would like to do in order that we might not misunderstand what Jesus is talking about, maybe to bring a little bit of subtlety of what is the point that Jesus is trying to make here in this gospel, that it might enrich us. I think Jesus has caught our attention with his words, but how do we put it into practice? What does this mean for us in life? And so I'd like to expound a little bit on that, first touching on these phrases or these statements about the blessed, and then touching on these statements where Jesus says, "A woe to you," because these are important and they're very practical for us. So first of all, the blessed. Blessed are you. Blessed are you who are hungry. Blessed are you who are weeping. What is Jesus trying to say here? Is he saying that somehow to be hungry is a virtue, or somehow to be poor is a good thing, that Jesus wants us all poor? Is that what he is saying, because this is what is blessed? Of course not. Jesus is not saying that he wants us to be poor. But he is saying we are blessed when we are in this state, when we find ourselves poor, or we find ourselves hungry, or we find ourselves weeping, because we find ourselves in those situations where we are in a place where we're not able to grasp on to the securities of this world. And we find ourselves in a very perilous situation where the human heart in that situation cries out to God, and God, help me in my desperation. I don't have a sure footing that I can find here on earth. Where can I find this sure footing? Where can I find someone to hold on to? And we turn to God in those situations. I think it's very human. I think all of us have found ourselves in that kind of place where we find ourselves desperate. We know that no one in this world can help us in our situation. And Jesus is simply saying to us, blessed are you because you are not alone. Remember how Jesus came into this world. He came into this world in poverty. We know that he was born literally homeless, where he had to live with his mother and father, Mary and Joseph, in a barn with the animals. And how he was raised, he was born in this sort of situation, very symbolic, as I have tried to say in the past, to that he was born to the least of us. For all of us who find ourselves isolated or secluded from this world, or somehow feeling apart from or any poverty situation that we find ourselves in, Jesus comes into that situation to say to us, he is with us where we're at. We don't have to grow or to be someone or to do something to know that God is with us. God has come for us even in our sin. He has sent his son into this world for us where we're at. So blessed are you when you find yourself in a situation of desperation, that you can cling to God and you can look to him. Poverty in itself is not a good thing, but Jesus can turn what is a bad situation, what even might be considered an evil, into a good, that he can bear fruit, good fruit from evil, even a bad situation. So then what is this whole part about when Jesus talks about woe to you who are rich, woe to you who are filled, woe to you who laugh? Just as all of us have found ourselves maybe in desperate situations, I hope that all of us in this world have found great joy in this world. I hope that all of us have experienced in life a sense of fulfillment where things are at peace in our home, at peace in my life, in your life, and we feel a sense of satisfaction and joy. And that is a good thing. And Jesus is not saying that to be having the resources and the finances you need, having wealth is a bad thing. He's not saying that wealth is evil. But what he is saying, similar to how he's saying about poverty, he's saying that when you find yourself in that situation where all seems to be satisfied and you are content and you have everything you need in this world, woe to you. Be careful, in other words, because your self-satisfaction puts you in a place where you think, and I think, that we are self-sufficient, that we don't need anybody. And we become proud. We can tend to become proud in those sorts of situations, thinking that everything we have is because of our own doing, where we take credit for everything that we have and never even looking up to God or acknowledging God or having a need for God in our life, because everything seems to be taken care of for us here in this world. We're laughing, we have a good reputation, our stomach is full, our bank account is full, our gas tank is full, and we don't need anything. Woe to you, Jesus is saying to us. You see, my brothers and sisters, we live in this world that is full of ups and downs. That's life. And throughout these ups and downs, let us not ever lose sight that God is with us and that we can call to him in all our situations. So that in the down times of life, when things are low, know that you are blessed and know that God is with you. Don't despair. Don't give up. Call out to God. He loves you where you're at, and he desires to help you. Similarly, when you find yourself on the high of life and everything seems to be going well, be careful. Know that the blessings that you have received is not solely due to you, but that God has his hand on you and that you can count your blessings because of him. So never turn your back to God even when you are blessed. Never fill yourself with pride when you find yourself full. But be careful even when you have all the things that you need in life, and know where your blessings came from. And as easily as God has placed his hand on you, this is for all of us, God can also raise his hand from us so that we might find ourselves low again, calling out to him. My brothers and sisters, this gospel today applies to all of us in our life. Let us be mindful of God when we find ourselves poor, and let us be mindful and be careful when we find ourselves rich. God bless you.